My name is Fernando Flurking. I'm a special advisor for government relations and education at Michigan Language Assessment. And I'm joined by my colleague Emily.
Hi everyone, my name's Emily Clifford. I'm the Academic Services Manager here at Michigan Language Assessment. And we're very excited to talk to you today about MET Go, the English test that grows with your students.
So let's get started with some key features of MET Go. MET Go is a flexible and engaging and learner-focused test. It's a highly engaging and fun test for students to really enjoy. It's more than just, it's like continuing with our classroom in some way. It's designed for test takers that are in upper primary, lower secondary school, kind of 10 to 15-year-old students. And it's mainly helping them to track their progress in English, to boost their confidence, to celebrate their achievement in a fun and very supportive way. One of the things that I love about MET Go is how it focuses on learning, and it's an assessment for learning, really. The score report provides individualized feedback for each particular test takers based on the patterns of responses, on what they're doing well, how they're performing in all the different sections of the test, the different skills that they've been learning, and how they can continue to develop those with specific recommendations for each skill area. All the test takers earn a certificate, all the students succeed. They will have, it's a formative test, and it provides information for all the test takers where they are at the time when they take the test. So it's a really positive experience for them. They really have fun taking the test, and they enjoy the process of learning and assessing their English proficiency. So it's a multi-level exam. It's not pass-fail. Everybody will get a score where they are in terms of the different skills that they're being assessed: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. That's why it's helping them track their academic progress, building their language confidence, and recognizing their achievements. And everybody learns at a different pace. Everybody, all the students have their interests and special strategies they can use when they're learning another language, when they're developing the language skills. So it's important to recognize how they're all moving forward in their language learning journey and recognizing those achievements. MET Go is designed, developed by our teams at Michigan Language Assessment, ensuring a fair, reliable, and globally recognized certification that helps your young learners' growth. These are some of the key features that we're really proud of. It's tailored, it's designed for young learners. It's age appropriate. The tasks, the contexts, the topics that they will be asked about, the visuals, the design is really appropriate for that age. It's designed for students in upper primary, lower secondary school levels. It's flexible, adaptive, it's globally recognized. Lots of schools and educational institutions use it worldwide. It's a comprehensive skill assessment, evaluates listening, reading, writing, and speaking, and supports continuous learning based on the feedback that I told you about from the score reports that provides not only test takers but also teachers and parents information about the students' growth and what they can continue to do in order to keep improving their English proficiency. That's why it's a really good, useful stepping stone for students to discover their potential and gain confidence in their English journey. So let's go over the format and the different sections of the test. Here you have an overview of the different skills that they will be assessed on in terms of writing, reading, listening, and speaking. And as you can see, they reflect different skills that I'm sure all of you are working on in your that are included within your curriculum, in all your high beginning, low intermediate courses with young learners. You will see all the different skills that you're working in terms of writing, reading, grammar, and vocabulary are included within the reading section, listening and speaking areas. So it has 4 sections for the 4-skill test. It begins with the writing section, continues with listening, reading, and speaking. Writing has 3 parts to complete in 30 minutes, and we'll see the examples of the 3 parts. Listening has 5 parts with 30 questions to be completed in 30 minutes. The reading section has 2 parts with 30 questions to be completed in 30 minutes, and the speaking has 3 stages that will be completed within 7 to 10 minutes. So beginning with the writing section, the 3 parts of the writing section describe, within the first one, they have to tell a story based on a comic strip. That, let's look at that example here. They get 3 pictures, kind of like a cartoon, a comic strip showing situation, and they have to write a short narrative. They're expected to write 20 words or more. It's just describing the pictures and in the format of a kind of a story. It's a short narrative task that is appropriate for learners at high beginning levels. They can describe what's going on and interpret what's going on in those 3 pictures. The visuals, the colorful images, the contexts, the situations, the characters are all appropriate for students at this age group. The second task, the second part of the writing section, is writing about a personal experience, and they're guided with a few questions so that they know what to say. This is, for example, write to a student in another country describing your favorite school trip, and there are 3 questions that they have to answer. Where did you go on a school trip? When did you go? And what did you like about the school trip? They can write a general paragraph in general by answering those 3 questions. And part 3 is expressing a preference or an opinion. Some people like to travel in a car, other people prefer to take a bus. How do you like to travel? So they explain their answer, their preference, or their opinion, and support that with a few examples. So these are the 3 different parts, as you can see, very relatable to the students at this age. The majority of the students will be able to answer in one way or another with more or less elaboration, and that's why it's a very flexible exam that adapts to the different skills that test takers have. For the listening section, Emily, would you like to continue?
Thank you, Fernando. So the MET Go listening section has 5 parts and lasts for around 30 minutes. And in the listening section, each of the audio items will be played twice. So you can see here on the screen how it's broken down. Part 1 asks test takers to identify people in a picture. They'll hear a description, they'll see a picture with lots of people, and they choose the person that's being described. In part 2, they will hear a question and choose the most appropriate answer. In part 3, they'll answer questions about a conversation. It's a short conversation, but they'll answer multiple choice questions about what they heard. In part 4, they'll hear slightly longer conversations, again, followed by multiple choice questions. And then part 5, they will hear a short announcement and answer some multiple choice questions. So let's take a look at what it looks like. So this is an example of listening part 1. You can see the picture there. It's really colorful, much like with the writing section. And they'll hear these people being described, and they need to choose which person from the labels they're hearing the description of. So there'll be 4 questions about one picture where they'll match the descriptions with the picture. And then parts 2 and 3, you can see here on the right, this is an example from our digital sample test, which is available on our website. You've got short questions where the test takers will hear a question, and then they choose the answer that's most appropriate for that question. And then part 3 will be short conversations. And in this one, in keeping with the exam being accessible for younger learners, the answer options are shown as pictures. They will hear each conversation twice and choose the picture that best represents the answer to the question. Part 4 involves slightly longer conversations. And you can see on the right here some example questions they might hear. So you've got a picture to help illustrate what they're hearing, and then they're asked, what are the speakers talking about? So they have to identify a main idea, and they're asked, how does the girl feel at first? So they're being asked to identify information based on what they hear in the conversation. And finally, for listening, part 5. They will hear an announcement. In this situation, or in this example, you can see it's a teacher talking. She's in front of a chalkboard there, probably in a classroom, and they're asked to answer questions such as, what is the teacher talking about? What does the teacher say about a specific piece of information included in the talk or announcement? So moving on to reading. The reading section of MET Go has 2 parts and lasts for also 30 minutes. And in reading, they will answer 30 multiple choice questions. Part 1 includes grammar and vocabulary questions that are on the same theme as each other. And then part 2, they will read a narrative text and an informational text and answer multiple choice questions about what they've read. Here's an example of reading part 1. So you can see there's a colorful image again. They'll see incomplete sentences and then a choice of 3 words or phrases to complete each sentence. Each of these sentences will test either grammar or vocabulary, and they will all be on the same topic. So in this example, you can see all of the questions are related to being in a gym or a school gym. And then part 2, they will read, or test takers will read 2 informational texts and 2 narrative texts, each of these being followed by a set of multiple choice questions. So we've got an example informational text there. It's a flyer advertising school picture day. And then the narrative is a very short story, all accompanied by colorful images and multiple choice questions. And lastly, speaking. The MET Go speaking section is 7 to 10, around 10 minutes long. There'll be 4 parts with 3 rated tasks. So the first part of speaking is a warm-up. It's an opportunity for the test taker to really get comfortable, maybe answer some personal questions like their name, and sort of start speaking in English just to get warmed up before moving into the tested part of the speaking section, which includes a picture comparison, a picture description, and then talking about and describing personal experiences and answering some opinion-based questions. So the part 1 warm-up will just be 2 questions. As I said, it's not scored. It's just a chance for them to get comfortable with the recordings. And part 2 is a picture comparison. So they'll see 2 pictures side by side. Some of the things are the same, some of the things are different. It does give an example of something that's different and similar in these pictures. And then they have 90 seconds to say as much as they can about the pictures, talking about both what they see that's the same and what they see that's different. And then part 3, another picture, they will be asked to describe what they see in the picture and tell a story. So they have 60 seconds and they will talk about what they can see and make suggestions of what they think might be happening and come up with a narrative description of the picture. They are given 10 seconds to plan their answer, and then the recording will start and they speak for 60 seconds. And then lastly, speaking part 4. In speaking part 4, test takers are asked to talk about a personal experience and give their opinion on a topic that's related to that experience. So again, they have 10 seconds to plan their answer, think about what they want to say, and then 60 seconds to respond to the questions. You can see in this example here, the first part is asking them to talk about a time they played a video game or some other kind of game, and they speak for 60 seconds on that question. Then they're asked their opinion on this topic, which in this example is talking about playing to win versus playing for fun and what they prefer. So they're drawing on their own personal opinion, talking about what they think and giving reasons to support that opinion. Once again, they have 60 seconds to record their response. So let's talk about MET Go preparation. We do have preparation resources on our website, and these are designed to help teachers who are preparing test takers to take MET Go. There are some example activities, there's worksheets to complete, there's a scope and sequence chart which outlines all of the different skills that are tested on MET Go, and how they relate to classroom activities. We've got a free digital sample test, a free interactive demo, and there's a preparation guide for teachers that is a comprehensive document that goes through all of the sections of MET Go and the different types of activities that you're probably already doing in class that can help prepare students and test takers as they prepare to sit MET Go. For the most up-to-date resources, please do follow us on social media and on YouTube, where we frequently post videos like this one and add new resources. And you can sign up for our monthly newsletter to get all of that news straight to your inbox. Here are some examples of the things that we have there. You've got the preparation guide here on the left, which gives you more detailed information about MET Go, the skills that are tested, activities to prepare, and also some suggestions for how to talk to parents about MET Go. Some parents might have questions, and there's advice in that guide for teachers on what information parents might find helpful. And we also have these books published by University of Michigan Press, practice test books, and a teacher's answer pack that can be purchased directly from University of Michigan Press. Scan that QR code, it will take you straight to our website. So please do follow us, sign up for our newsletter, follow us on Facebook or LinkedIn, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll get all of the most up-to-date information, news, and more resources to help prepare students for MET Go. Our web address is there on the screen, michiganassessment.org, or you can email us at info@michiganassessment.org. But thank you very much for joining us. From Fernando and myself, it's been a pleasure. And if you have any questions, please do reach out. Thank you.